It's fun time.
A lot of Instagram questions these last few videos. So if you got your question, go hit me up on the Instagram at YouGoProBaseball. I'm private over there though, so I'll have to accept you before you can ask your question, or at least get in my DM. Got to accept you first. This one comes from Edward Panda, and he says, I have a problem. I can throw about 80 miles per hour, but if I pitch like this, will my arm be damaged? I practice every day and I want to make it to the big leagues. Can you please give me recommendations on what I could do? Thank you very much. Yes, I can. You're welcome very much. Here's your video. The answer to this is that there's risk in anything you do, okay? Is throwing 80 miles per hour definitely going to hurt your arm? No, there's guys that throw 90, 100 miles an hour for a long time and don't hurt their arm. So yes and no. Like pitching is a very risky thing. Like pitching is not a normal thing. You know what I'm saying? Throwing a ball as absolutely hard as you can is not something that our bodies do on a normal basis. So yeah, it's risky, and you can hurt yourself throwing 80. You could hurt yourself throwing 70. You could probably hurt yourself throwing 60 miles an hour. There's kids nowadays, young kids, that get sore arms and are hurting their arms way too early. But it can happen. If you're throwing the wrong way, yeah, you can hurt your arm. But pitching is a risky thing. So what you got to do is make sure you're doing it right. So you got to study, learn the right way. Whether that be getting with a coach one-on-one or looking online, but make sure you're doing it the right way, right? Efficiently transferring your energy so that the arm isn't taking most of that energy, right? Using your body. You also want to make sure that your body is strong enough, your arm and your body is strong enough to execute your pitches, right? If you're too weak, that's going to put you in a vulnerable position and you can hurt your arm. So you got to make sure you're training hard and training smart to make sure that your body can handle the load that you're putting on your arm, because otherwise you got a higher risk of hurting your arm, right? And lastly, you can't be afraid of hurting your arm. If you decide to be a pitcher, you have to go out there and you have to pitch. I've got a guy here that I'm working with who is scared to hurt his arm, so he never pushes himself and he's not making any gains. So if you decide to be a pitcher, look at number one, look at number two, and then once you commit to that, make it happen. Okay, let it fly. Don't be afraid, because you've chosen this. When if you're doing something else in life and it's very risk oriented, once you make that decision, to decide means to cut off all other options. So once you decide, you have to go after it. Okay, you can't be pitching with that fear in your head, because then you're never going to reach your full potential. So think about those three things. One, make sure you're doing it right. Two, make sure you're able to do it right, which means strength and training and all that stuff. And three, once you commit and decide to be a pitcher, get it done. Do the job, all right? Hope that answers your question. Leave me a comment below, guys, if you have any questions, and I'd be happy to answer them. And you could also hit me up on the Instagram at YouGoProBaseball or Snapchat at John Madden 1882. I'll talk to you guys over there.